And as survivors, we are now also being heard, believed, and we have now, what can we say, it is a glorious day for us as survivors everywhere. It's just wonderful.
The largest protected pedophile ring in the world is busted.
The Victorian Court of Appeal handed down its judgment this morning, announcing Pell will continue to serve his 6 years imprisonment. He could be eligible for parole after 3 years and 8 months.
By majority, the appeal has been dismissed.
The 78-year-old's original verdict sent ripples through the Catholic community around the world. Found guilty of molesting 2 boys after Sunday Mass at St Patrick's Cathedral in Melbourne in 1996 and 1997. He is the most senior Catholic to be found guilty of sex offences.
You're a monster!
2 of the 3 judges rejected all 13 arguments presented by Pell's legal team. They claimed the offences were impossible and a likely fabrication or fantasy by the victims.
The complainant came across as someone who was telling the truth. He did not seek to embellish his evidence or tailor it in a manner favourable to the prosecution.
It was said Pell looked frail and dejected in court. His head bowed low as Chief Justice Anne Ferguson read a summary of his case. There is already an online petition to strip Cardinal Pell of his Order of Australia. Almost 300,000 people have signed.
Understanding is that this would result in the stripping of the honours that are decided externally to the government. That is a process that is done independently.
Pell now has 28 days to apply for special leave to appeal the decision in the High Court. Olivia Donaldson, ECU News.
That's a great question, and what a lot of people may not know is George Pell is still officially a cardinal in the Catholic Church and may not be stripped of this title until all legal proceedings are finalised. Pell now has 28 days to appeal against today's ruling, and his legal team says they are considering taking this to the High Court. If this isn't enough to worry about already, the Vatican is also conducting their own investigation into Pell's case, which could see him as dismissed from his priesthood. In October of last year, Pell was already dismissed from the Council of Cardinals, a highly influential group of only the top members of the Catholic Church. We'll just have to wait and see whether Pell and his legal team take this to the High Court, and also what the Vatican finds in their investigation. Back to you. By lunchtime, the ASX 200 had fallen, dropping by as much as 1% before averaging out. Looking to commodities now, and both gold and silver rose today. Resources were the high performers, including Gold Road, a producer east of Laverton, and Northern Star Resources up by 2%. Oil prices finished in the red today. Flight Centre plunged significantly after they announced they were expecting a fall in profit for this financial year. They blamed this loss to unrest from Brexit and a decline in the Australian trading conditions. News Corp also experienced significant losses today, closing in the red, down by 87 cents. Consumer sectors are trading lower, with housing, retail and energy being the worst performers. Despite this, pharmaceutical company Clinuvel rose a massive 60% today after the US Food and Drug Administration approved their new drug, Cinis, used to treat a rare genetic disorder causing skin damage from light exposure. They closed at $45. Global markets are looking a bit sad today. The Dow Jones dropped 313 points. London's FTSE also down 0.76%, with reports Brexit negotiations between the UK and the EU are close to breaking point. The Aussie dollar is buying 67 US cents, 61 euro cents and 55 British pence. And that's your world in finance for this week.